are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. Scott Earhart here with Insurance Agency Marketing Services. Do want to thank you all so very, very much for taking time out of your busy day to join us. We do appreciate it this morning. We're going to spend 30 to 45 minutes here this morning on a very exciting topic, the proprietary annuities that we offer through AIG Market Synergy Group. The Power Select series. In order to present these products, we are very lucky to have Mr. Jared Anderson from Market Synergy Group on the line with us. Jared, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Jared. As I said, these products are positioned very, very competitively in the industry today and very, very limited distribution. So a great opportunity for you to learn about some products that your competitors aren't going to be able to offer that will help you close more sales. Before I hand it over to Jared to go through the products, a couple of housekeeping items and just a few intro slides. First housekeeping item is our phone number. If you have any questions whatsoever, or if there's anything we can be doing to help you grow your business in the life or annuity markets, do not hesitate to give us a call at 800-255-5055. We would absolutely love the opportunity to partner with you in growing your business. Second housekeeping item is I will launch a polling question or two throughout the presentation today. If you would please take the time to just click yes or no. We certainly do appreciate everyone's participation, in those polling questions. And then the final housekeeping item before we move on is there is a questions box on your screen. Towards the end of the presentation, we will take some time with Jared to answer any questions that you have. So if you have a question about anything you hear from me or anything you hear from Jared today, please type it in. We'd love to answer it while we are live and in session. That being said, let's get into a few intro slides. Oh, I hit the wrong button there. Few intro slides before we hand it over to Jared. We do have an upcoming Life and Annuity Academy, and we are really getting to the end of the registration or application period for this academy. So as I talk about this, I'm going to launch our first poll of the day. If you'd like more information on the academy, just click yes. We'll get it emailed out to you here today. And if it is of interest to you, if you'd like to move forward, we do need you to complete that application as soon as possible, as we will be closing registrations here very, very shortly. So with our Life and Annuity Academy, it is all expenses paid. It is going to be July 20. Oh, I lost those dates. July, I believe, 27, 28, 29. I think it could be the 20th, 21st, 22nd. I will get that clarified for you when the email goes out. My apologies on that. But we will pay for flight, lodging, everything you need while you spend 2.5 days with us. What we do in our Life and Annuity Academies is we try not to make it a product-centric academy. We want to make it sales and marketing oriented. So what we will do is we'll bring in numerous people from our staff here internally at IMES. You'll see myself to go through quite a bit on indexed annuities and fixed or multi-year guarantee annuities. We'll go through positioning of those annuities. We'll look at suitability. We'll look at marketing ideas to help you increase your annuity sales. We'll also go in depth into things like these proprietary products, as well as income riders, uncapped strategies, so you can get a really good feel for how they work internally so you can better present them to your clients. Also, Mark Raymakers, our life director, will be there to go through some different concepts that we utilize with our producers on the life insurance side of things, from single premium life to overfunding of IUL, multi-generational gifting, all are great topics to go through there. Also, you will have access to our executive team and ownership team in Charles Hiring and Steve Murray. One of the things that makes IMES so unique is you do get access directly to the decision makers at IMES, and we're very, very proud of that. Also, Matt Neal, our creative director, will be there so you can see exactly what IMES Creative can do for your branding, for your advertising, for your general marketing, search engine optimization, websites, newsletters, television ads, radio spots, radio marketing, everything that we can do to help you grow your business. And then what I think is probably the most beneficial to you is we will have at least 4 of our sales coaches there to go through what they do in their daily businesses that make them top producers. In order to be a sales coach with IMES, you not only have to be able to talk the talk and tell people about how to sell product and move product, you have to prove that you can do it. So you must be a multiple top producer qualifier. All 4 of the individuals you will meet will be top producer qualifiers multiple times over. And they will show you exactly what they do in their daily businesses that make them so successful. With that being said, that kind of gives you an overview of what we'll do at the Academy. If it's of interest to you, please click yes. If it's not of interest to you, feel free to click no. Understand there, clicking yes isn't a commitment from your end. It's just requesting more information. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and close down this poll. So if you haven't taken the time to participate, if you would please do so, we certainly appreciate that. All right, that poll is closed. Thank you, everyone there. Moving on, for those of you who are new to us, or if this is your first introduction to insurance agency marketing services, you will be eligible for the new producer bonus. The new producer bonus is based on your production within your first 180 days of being licensed with IMES. You can qualify at any one of these 3 levels, and as you can see, we do have some great options for you at each level. Cash rewards, business building tools, personal perks, all available to you there. So if you'd like to know where you stand or what we can do to help you take advantage of new producer bonus, please don't hesitate to ask. We certainly want to see you taking advantage of that. On the Academy, when we were talking about that, I mentioned Matt Neal and his team, the creative services team here at IMES. We call them IMES Creative. You would be shocked at how good these guys are, what they can do for you with graphics and branding, all the way up to helping you negotiate for mass marketing. So if you'd like to learn a little bit more about what we do with IMES Creative or how they can help you save money as compared to what you're currently spending through your vendor, please give Matt Neal a call in our office right here at 800-255-5055, and he'd love to chat with you about what they can do to help you with that. Second poll of the day will go up here shortly. I know what we're talking about today is indexed annuity, and I want to get it over to Jared. We will go through this very quickly, but we would be amiss if we did not talk about an annuity alternative and what a great option it can be for your existing book of business. The largest growth area that we've seen in our business over the last 5 years has been with single premium life, and that growth has come from individuals like you, indexed annuity and annuity in general producers. We all have had that client that we wrote an indexed annuity on. Maybe we put an income rider on it, and they said, well, I'm going to need this for income down the road. And guess what? They get retired and it turns out they don't need that income. Well, single premium life is a great alternative because leaving that indexed annuity on the books, more than likely that's a dead asset to you. That is a liability to the beneficiaries of that annuity, and it may not create the death benefit that you think it could or should if the indices underperform. Single premium life will give your clients the ability to pay just a little bit of tax up front and then give their beneficiaries all of that money tax-free, so it won't create a tax bracket increase. Also, it will give your clients still access to some of the funds should they need it down the road, and many of them will offer accelerated benefits for long-term care purposes or confinement purposes. And of course, it's going to generate a new commission for you. So that dead asset is now working for you again. What I can tell you, if you click yes that you'd like to learn a little bit more about an annuity alternative, Mark Raymakers or someone from the life department will reach out to you just to kind of chat with you about how it works, what we do with it. I can tell you Mark and our team are probably the industry leaders in knowledge about SPL and SPL sales. and how to position that asset to your clients. So if you think this would be of interest to you, if you have interest in going back, looking at your book to move money, possibly take a free withdrawal, set your clients up to be in better position for themselves and their beneficiaries, just click yes. Mark or someone from his team will reach out to you and hopefully be able to help you generate some new sales there. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and close down this poll. So if you haven't taken the time to just click yes or no, if you would please do so, we certainly appreciate your participation there. And that poll is now closed. Thank you very much, everyone. My favorite slide, and I'll just spend a quick bit of time on this slide. This is all about putting money back in your pocket. IAMS does offer our licensed producers a marketing reimbursement program. Rough numbers on that: for every $100,000 you place an indexed annuity premium through IAMS, we will put $200 into your marketing reimbursement account. That is your money. We do not put restrictions on marketing reimbursement, so you can grow it as large as you want. You can use it whenever you want. You can use pretty much any vendor that you want to use. I've seen very few marketing reimbursements requests get denied. So certainly a great way for us to partner with you in growing your business. I've had one of our top producers tell me he looks at it as an override on business he's already writing, and I think that's a great way to think about it. On the left-hand side is the referred producer program. Our business here on the wholesaling side is eerily similar to yours out there in the field. The best lead we're ever going to get is a referral from one of our valued clients, you, the valued producer. So we want to make it worth your while to refer individuals to us. When you refer a producer to us and they choose to license, we're going to send you a check for $50 just for them licensing. Also, when your referral writes business, we're going to give you a 20 basis point override on the business they're writing. We do cut these checks at least quarterly. Steve and Charles sign checks for thousands and thousands of dollars each quarter, and I can tell you there's no check they'd rather sign than a referred producer check, because that means you entrusted us, and we certainly appreciate that. And we think the referred producer program is a great way to show you how much we do appreciate that. If you have someone you'd like to refer over to IAMS and get started on the referred producer program, just go ahead and type their name and any contact information you have into the questions box. I will certainly do the best I can to get them recruited over and get you started with the referred producer program. And Jared, that brings me to the end of my slides. So I'm going to give you control, and
Perfect.
You should have it now, sir.
All right. Let me get set up here and make sure you can see what we need to see. Let me know when you can.
I can see GPA.
Perfect. Well, we'll just get started. I understand that everybody on the call here today is very busy, so we're going to try and take the next few minutes to go over some of the products that we develop and distribute through AIG American General. As Scott mentioned, my name is Jared Anderson from Market Synergy Group. What we do is we, as I mentioned, develop products specifically for AIG American General. What you see on the screen is GPA, something that we really throw around our office on a regular basis when we talk about what makes the most sense and what we're trying to accomplish in the indexed annuity world. And for us, there's really three ways in which indexed annuities are bought. It's either for guarantees, in regards to income, participating income, or simply accumulation. And we've really tried to hone in on and specifically identify the most competitive product that we can for those specific areas. So we really focus on one of those three, and you'll see today with our two different products as well as our two different income riders why we've done that and what we've done in order to accomplish the ways in which, as I mentioned, these products are bought. So first and foremost, as I said, we'll talk about the two products that we offer through Market Synergy Group, the PowerSelect Plus Income, which is our product that does have income rider, whether that be a guaranteed income rider or performance-based, as well as the PowerSelect Builder, which happens to be our number one selling product and the one that we see the majority of the business going into. And simply stated, I believe that has everything to do with the fact that, you know, we're currently in a very low interest rate environment. We look at this as an opportunity for those retirees and those potential clients of yours to have some sort of a safe accumulation opportunity and maybe not, you know, erode their accumulation value, so to speak, with these income riders and guaranteed income rider products that are out there and available now. we take a different approach at how we look at things, and we'll go through the details of that. And as Scott had mentioned earlier, we'll ask that you type in any questions that you may have that we would be happy to answer. So just some statistics as to why we do what we do. You're all familiar with it. I think we've got an incredible business here that we certainly help out retirees, baby boomers, and the likes with safe accumulation opportunities as well as guaranteed income for life. But the opportunity is huge. 10,000 baby boomers turning 65 every single day. And then retirement for a couple at that age can last as much as 30 years in some cases, and there's a 25% chance that one of the spouses will live beyond 97. With that being said, we understand that there's a huge need for guaranteed income for life as well as safe accumulation, so that's why we do what it is that we do. Now, these numbers are a little bit old, but you can follow me here with what we're trying to point out and what we can see. 10-year Treasury rate, as I look today, was sitting around 167. So our approach here at Market Synergy Group is to develop and provide some sort of an accumulation product in a time in which we think it's very difficult for insurance companies to provide that type of a product due to interest rates. And I'll talk about that in the next few slides here, but the reality is we look at it and say, if a client doesn't necessarily need income right now, why don't we look at one of these safe accumulation products and see what we can do for them now, and then get them into the future to where we'll have the ability to potentially see a rise in interest rates and the ability to, be innovative and come out with new products that more fit their needs when they're ready to take income. So again, two different product lines, and we'll go through the details of both of them, PowerSelect Builder, PowerSelect Plus Income. There's a lot of similarities and features on these products. Obviously, they're designed to protect the principal from market downturn, which is why our products have become so popular and our industry has become so popular. 5% potential earnings simply means that there's a 5% premium bonus on anything over $100,000, in addition to the 2 guaranteed living benefit riders that we'll talk about in detail. Just a quick slide to talk about that 5% premium enhancement. Any premiums under 100 is 2%, and there are a few states that do not allow for MBA. Check with your marketer, check with your salesperson at Insurance Agency Marketing, and they can fill you in as to whether or not you're in one of those states. So briefly go through the crediting strategies that are available on these products. S&P strategies, there's 4 of them. The basic, the most common, if you will, annual point-to-point, participation rate, monthly point-to-point, and monthly average. Now, what we're going to do here in a minute is spend a little bit of time on our hybrid strategy or our volatility-controlled strategy. With interest rates where they're currently at and where they've been over the last few years, what you've seen is a lot of companies developing these hybrid-type strategies to give that client the opportunity to see a better return in any given year, due to the fact that option prices on the S&P strategies will limit the amount of cash that you can receive. So again, a very popular strategy within the index annuity space, and you see a lot of those. We're going to spend 5 or 6 slides on ours and why we think it competes and why we think it makes the most sense. Just to take a look at some historical numbers going over the last 20 years, dating back to 1995, you see that the S&P 500 has had a 10% average annual return over that time frame. That same MLSB strategy that we're referring to is right at 8. So ultimately what these strategies are designed to do is be consistent throughout the term of the contract, and every once in a while have a nice crazy year, but in reality what we're trying to do is get safe accumulation throughout the term of the contract, and you can see with this MLSB strategy we've been able to do exactly that. First, what we'll do is talk specifically about the PowerSelect Builder. As I mentioned to you guys, this is the safe accumulation product that we see the majority of our business going into due to its simplicity as well as its ability to be a safe accumulation type of a product to get that client to where they need to be. So if we're doing full financial planning and we have a client that essentially says, yeah, these monies are set aside in order for me to take income, however, I don't know when I'm going to need to do that, then this is the direction that we tend to see people going. If they know exactly when they're ready to take income, it's a complete different story. But again, from a safe accumulation perspective, we really like the Builder product. One of the approaches that we take in our product design is we try and be as innovative as possible, and we realize that the potential to change in the indexed annuity world is huge. As I mentioned, the 10-year Treasury sitting around 167 makes it extremely difficult for carriers to price products from a competitive standpoint, and we feel like that if a client doesn't need income right now and their overall financial portfolio or their financial status is going to change over the next 5 to 10 years, why put them in an income rider and charge them a fee for that? You know, we talk about the changes that take place in a 10-year time frame. Just looking at this slide quickly, GPS was first invented back in 2005. Facebook with, you know, billions of users, 2005. iPad, iPhone, things such as that. So we can see how much change takes place in our world over a 10-year time frame. And we feel as if a client's not ready to take income, we've got a safe accumulation opportunity for them there. Let's put them out another 5 to 10 years and put them into a product that makes sense for them when they are ready to take income. Because we feel like with a 167 10-year treasury rate, if those rates go up, and who knows if that's going to happen, but generally speaking, when you talk to people and read and go through all the research, it's not something that's going to go down a whole lot more. We just feel as if there's going to be more innovative and better products down the road. So don't lock them into an income rider product if they aren't ready to take income because of the innovation in our world today, especially the index annuity world. Just talking briefly about the history of the FIA market, a little over 21 years old. The first fixed index annuity was introduced back in 1995, and just to go through the timeline, I'm not going to read all of these. You all have the ability to see them there, but some ones that really stick out to me is a $10 billion industry in 2002, which is right around the time that I started in this industry. The first income rider was introduced in 2006. So again, if you look back 10 years, I think it had a 4% guarantee on it with no performance capabilities, nothing like that. So in today's standards, very watered down. So the point I'm trying to make is we feel that over the next 10 years, this industry will continue to be innovative and provide potential products for your clients that are in a situation when they're ready to take income, they'll have the ability to do so with something that's even better. Confinement doublers introduced in 2007, 30 billion in sales 2009, up to 54 billion in sales in 2015. So an ever-growing industry with innovation, additional carriers jumping into the space. It's an extremely competitive product for those retirees who are looking for principal protection, and we feel like it's going in the right direction, and things are gonna continue to be even better down the road, so to speak. Just to talk about what can change over a 10-year time frame, if you look back even 20 years to 1996, 10-year treasury rates at 671. 10 years ago, it's April 10 years ago, I should say, 511, and then again, when we created this slide, April 2016 at 178, currently a little bit lower than that. So if you feel as if we're going to see a swing or a change in interest rates, that gives the carriers the ability to be more aggressive in their pricing and give the client the opportunity to see different types of products out there. So again, a safe place for clients to hold their money until they're ready to take income, and that's the approach that we've taken with the design of our PowerSelect Builder. Now, the most popular, for lack of a better term, crediting strategy that we've seen is the volatility controlled strategy that we talked briefly about. Due to the fact that those interest rates are so low, we're seeing that a lot of carriers are coming up with this specific design, simply trying to give that client the opportunity to see something different other than S&P. We all know that a 2.5–3% annual point-to-point cap isn't always necessarily enticing. This gives them the ability to see consistent returns throughout the retirement term. So the MLSB strategy, again, as I mentioned, seeks to provide stable returns using rules-based approach to blend an equity strategy, or excuse me, an equity asset class and a fixed income asset class. The equity asset class would be the S&P 500 without dividends, and the income asset class is the Merrill Lynch 10-year Treasury Futures Total Return. It's available on all of our products, and where it's different is that specifically that ML 10-year Treasury return. Three key features of the MLSB strategy. It's rules-based, as I mentioned, so there's not somebody pulling the trigger or making a decision. Merrill Lynch has a rules book that essentially says, if this happens, we go this direction. It is proprietary. That's their rules book. It's not somebody sitting behind a computer making a call, making a decision on any given time based on volatility. It also has volatility controls, and it has dynamic allocation as well. Again, comparing it to the S&P 500, here's a quick chart going back essentially 20 years. From 94 to 2013, you can see the S&P 500 in blue and the ML Strategic Balance Index in the orange. So providing a consistent return throughout the retirement with S&P components as well as Treasury future components is something that is unique and different than anything else that's out there. Just again to reiterate, combining rules-based dynamic allocations for those stable returns is exactly what we're trying to accomplish. I want to go back a couple slides, Scott, and talk about the 10-year Treasury futures, which we think separates us from the rest of the volatility controlled or hybrid-like indexes. Generally speaking, you'll have a equity asset class as well as a fixed income asset class. Ours is a little bit different because we have both of those, and then we control the volatility in and out of cash. Now, the ML Treasury futures essentially is a 3-month near maturity future on the 10-year Treasury rate. So as I mentioned earlier, 167 on the 10-year Treasury rate puts our fixed income asset class somewhere around that number. If we think over the next 10 years, which is the term of all of our contracts, that we're going to see a rise in interest rates, we get to take advantage of that because that number is changing every 3 months. Very unique and different. Generally speaking, with these volatility control strategies, you're going to lock into the current interest rates with the fixed income asset class based on the elected strategy that you choose. So again, it's very unique and different. I want to say I looked this morning, I believe year to date this strategy is up somewhere around 5.3 to 5.4%. Not exactly sure on that, but we can certainly get you the exact numbers if you choose to call IAMS and talk to them about that. We have the ability to do that. So again, it's a very clean, simple product, the PowerSelect Builder. It does have the S&P strategies just like every other product in our industry. I just mentioned the MLSB strategy because that's something different, something that nobody else has. It is proprietary to AIG and these products. So it's something different, and I would encourage you to call and talk to your marketer or your salesperson at IAMS. Have them give you a little bit more information on it. It's a very simple volatility controlled strategy, hybrid strategy, and we've got great brochures, great pieces on it to talk about it with the S&P components as well as the Treasury futures. It makes it unique and different than anything else that's out there. Okay, what we want to do now is talk about our PowerSelect Plus Income, which has 2 different income rider options. If we were to go back to the very first slide that I put up there, the GPA, this would be the guarantees and the performance base. We understand that our industry has been kind of shifted towards guaranteed income and income riders, and we feel like we have extremely competitive ones through an A+ rated carrier. So we'll talk briefly about those and then again answer any questions that you may have. So the Lifetime Income Plus is our guaranteed income rider with a simple story that gives the increasing income capabilities for the 10 years of the contract. In addition to that, we have the Lifetime Income Plus Multiplier, which is our performance-based income rider that we've happened to see a lot of increase in these type of products in our industry throughout the last, I don't know, 6 months to 2 years. So we'll talk about both of those here. First and foremost, the Lifetime Income Plus, which is kind of our bread and butter. This is what we started Market Synergy Group with. Simple guaranteed income rider. We'll talk about the features of it here. First 10 contract years, you receive 6.5% simple interest on your income base. In addition to that, there's some features that are put into place for individuals who do laddering planning. The client's income base will double after 10 years if you do not touch it. And when I say you do not touch it, you don't take any free withdrawals, RMDs, or anything out of it. If you are doing laddering planning, if we look at that 10th year, $100,000 becomes $210 for income purposes, and that's extremely, extremely competitive. As I mentioned, 6.5% simple interest for the 10-year term of the contract. Now, 6.5% simple doesn't sound real competitive with what else is out there today, but the difference is the features that we have on this specific product. The Keep the Difference feature is something unique to this specific product line through AIG, and it's different than anything else that's out there. When we say 6.5% simple for 10 years, we want that to happen for the full 10 years of the contract. We know that statistics say income riders are turned on in about 2.5 years. So if you have clients who are looking for income, generally speaking, they know that they're going to turn on that income within the first 2, maybe 3 years. What happens with most products in the industry, whatever, credit that they're getting for their income base essentially stops after that. Ours is different. With the Keep the Difference Guaranteed Rising Income feature, I have an example of a 65-year-old up here right now on the screen. So we've promised 6.5% simple interest for the first 10 years of the contract. In this example, if you turned on income immediately, which we have the capability of doing after 30 days of issue, the payout factor at age 65 is 5%. But we've promised that 6.5%. Therefore, there's a 1.5% difference that still gets credited to the income base to give them a rise in income for the first 10 years. I think it's probably safe to say that the first 10 years of retirement is the most important when a client's looking at that. To see a guaranteed rise in income is probably something that would be very beneficial for them, and something that you could help them plan around to give them that little bump every single year for the first 10 years of the contract. As they get a little bit older, we start to dial back our spending, we start to dial back our traveling, we start to dial back all of our expenses. So this is a great, unique feature that gives them the ability to see a rise in their retirement income for the first 10 years of the contract. Now, one thing that I'll mention, the products that we designed and helped design with AIG American General were specific for certain areas. One of the comments that I made earlier is that income riders are turned on in the first 2.5 years, and that's true based on NAFA research. But the reality is, we look at this and say, how can we be most competitive in income in those early years? And giving them a raise for that 10 years in this specific example, we feel is extremely competitive and gives us a great position to talk about with an A+ rated carrier. So if you're looking for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years of deferral, quite honestly, our personal opinion of that is that means that the client isn't sure when they're ready to turn on income. So there's no need to necessarily put them in a product that charges them an income rider fee. Let's put them into a safe accumulation product and make the decision 10 years from now when we feel interest rates are going to rise and our industry will continue to be innovative and have even better products out there. For those individuals who know they're ready for income right now because they're ready to start taking retirement income off of all of those assets that they've gathered throughout their working careers, this is a great solution for them. I mentioned earlier the doubling feature. For a 55-year-old with $100,000, we can guarantee him $10,500 for life at age 65 with that specific doubling feature, which I think is one of the tops in the industry. Certainly the folks at IAMS can talk to you about that from an income standpoint. I think, maybe there's a couple that are a few $100s close to that or more than that, but it's certainly close, and with the backing of the largest insurance company in the world, I think your clients will certainly feel safe with this selection. Again, with the design of the product, we knew that retirement age is 66, approaching 67. When we have the ability to supplement Social Security and stretch it out to that age, we knew that it was extremely important to be most competitive at age 65. However, going as early as 50 was important as well for those joint income cases. When we talk about joint income cases, 50 basis points in reduction makes us extremely competitive in that arena as well. So take a look at that. Either on qualified or non-qualified accounts, we have the ability to have joint payouts, which is extremely competitive, and we've started to see more and more of due to the planning that's taking place, both husband and wife wanting to be on that income rider due to their popularity and the ability to provide income for the life of both of them. So just a quick profile to talk about a specific example or a specific case. A 60-year-old wanting to retire in 5 years, getting close to that full retirement age of 66. Increase her retirement income, help supplement Social Security, selection of the Power Select Plus income with Lifetime Income Plus. In this scenario, as I mentioned earlier, 6.5% simple interest for the first 5 years. Once they get to age 65, they turn on their income. You can see that 1.5% difference with the Keep the Difference feature is still applied for the next 5 years, giving them a raise in their retirement income. So ultimately what they're seeing is 5 years of deferral with the ability to see 5 years of raises, which is extremely competitive and something that they like to see. So as you can see here, with $100,000 on that 5-year deferral, she's ultimately guaranteed $7,350 for life. Now, I'll be the first to tell you there's products out there on 5 years deferral right now that will pay more than that. Where we're most competitive is in that early income scenario. If you're taking income immediately, doing the full planning for that client of yours, or in the first couple of years. So that's the areas where we shine, so to speak. We're still extremely competitive in these 5-year deferrals, especially with the rising income feature, but the most competitive spot for this specific product is income in the first couple of years, which also happens to be statistically when clients are taking it. So what we added back in December of 2015 was our third leg of the GPA, the performance-based income, with the Lifetime Income Plus multiplier. Now, same product, but you have the ability to select guaranteed income or performance-based. So this one works very, very similarly to the Lifetime Income Plus. The Lifetime Income Plus multiplier simply takes out that 6.5% simple interest and applies a rate of return, so to speak, but still has that Keep the Difference feature. It's a little bit different. At first glance, a little bit harder to understand, but the reality is It's extremely competitive and gives the client the ability to see a rise in income for as long as there's any accumulation value left in the account. So how does it work? The multiplier is, as I mentioned, simply performance-based income. During the deferral stage, the client has the ability to receive 250% or 2.5 times their credited rate. Once they elect income, they get 150% or 1.5 times minus their withdrawal. So I'll show you a quick example here, and then again, we'll open it up for questions at the end. So assuming a modest 4% rate of return on whatever crediting strategy that's elected, during the deferral stage, we take that times 2.5. So if we get a 4% return on the MLSP strategy that we talked about, we take that number times 2.5 to give us a 10% credit to the income base. Again, this is during the deferral stage. So once we start taking income, we still have the ability to see a rise in the income, and we essentially keep the growth, so to speak. It's very similar to the guaranteed product. We bumped up the credit here to give you a better example as to how it works. A 6% credit times 1.5 is 9. But at age 65, we've used 5 of that, so we'll still get a 4% partial credit to the income base every single year for as long as there's any accumulation value left. The key is having somebody in IAMS run you an illustration to talk to you specifically about how this product works and really go over the numbers. And I'd be happy to get on the phone with Scott and do one with you if you guys choose to do so. So again, just a quick client profile, then we're going to open it up for questions. 55-year-old wanting to retire in 10 years, protect his retirement income, again, to get to that magic age of 66 for Social Security and really supplement their income that way with the other retirement assets that they've earned over their long careers. So during the deferral stage, very similar to the 6.5% simple, however, it is performance-based. So you can see at the bottom here, if you can follow my mouse, 3% return times the 2.5 will give them a 7.5% credit. 0 is obviously 0. That's one of the key features of these products. 4%, 10, so on and so forth. As you can see here, they continue to see that growth. A 6% return during the deferral stage would mean a 15% credit to their income base. Once they turn on income, we go to the adjusted multiplier where they get their credit minus their withdrawals, and you can see that that continues to grow. So again, starting at age 65, from a hypothetical perspective or an illustrated number here, we're showing $8,794 to start, ultimately growing to $9,844, and the ability to continue to grow above and beyond that. So again, you have clients who will come to you that say, I know how much I need guaranteed income, or this is a portion of my retirement assets that I'm willing to take a little bit of a risk on and potentially have a better return to potentially see higher payments throughout my my retirement income. So nothing's different in regards to the payout factors. Again, most competitive at age 65, and quite honestly, most competitive in those early income scenarios still. But again, with the ability to see that 2.5 times multiplier throughout the deferral stage, we've seen a lot of business come in from that direction as well. Just a quick overview on the difference of the income riders that are available on the PowerSelect Plus Income. One offers guaranteed rising income. The other one provides the potential of rising income based on any interest earned in the annuity contract. They're both guaranteed income for life. Once you turn it on, that number can never go lower, obviously. There's a guaranteed income credit on the Lifetime Income Plus, whereas the multiplier applies to the performance-based. The doubling feature does only apply to the guaranteed income product. The guaranteed income product is first 10 years, 6.5%, as you can see there. And then the Lifetime Income Plus multiplier is up to age 95 or whenever the contract value equals 0, whichever is earlier. So again, 2.5 times credit during the deferral stage, 1.5 times credit minus the withdrawal during the payout phase, which gives us an extremely competitive product out there for any different avenue that your client is looking to go down. So some few additional product details, Scott, and we got it wrapped up. Beneficiary protection, just same as all products that are out there. Free withdrawals, 10% of the contract value after the first contract anniversary. That does ultimately affect the income rider, so you want to look at that and take a look and see if that's something that you want to do. I always say that if you're looking for 10% free withdrawals, you probably shouldn't have an income rider anyway. Focus on the builder product that doesn't have any income rider, therefore no income rider fees. The income rider fee is 1.1%, something that I generally speaking forget to point out. But access to money, you see a lot of doubling features out there that are extremely competitive from a sales perspective. Ours works a little bit differently. Terminal illness, extended care, or activities of daily living gives the client the full access to their accumulation value in a lump sum. In addition to that, it's a true 1010 product, 109876 on down the line, which is obviously a little bit different than the other products that are out there. This design is trying to be as customer friendly as possible. I mean, obviously, contracts have surrender charges on them. That's how we have the ability to provide such high income for these individuals. But I want to point that out to you as well. Premium requirements, $25,000 is the initial premium, with anything over $1 million needing home office approval. Issue ages for the builder is 0 to 78, for the income product, age 50 to 78. So again, our idea behind GPA is to have an extremely competitive guaranteed income rider, a performance-based income rider, and then A, for accumulation, the ability to put somebody into a product when they don't necessarily know when they're going to need to start taking income. We feel as if the innovation in our industry will continue, and we'll have better opportunities for them when they are in that position. So with that being said, Scott, the last thing I'll add is, for 2016, we do have a producer commission bonus that we run based on production, very similar to other ones that are out there in the industry today. Anything that the street level comp, sorry, let me back up a second. Street level comp is 7%. Once you reach $1 million in production, you do get a 50 basis point bonus retro back to $1. At $2.5 million in production in any of this product line, you get a full point retro back to $1, and at $5 million, you get a 1.5 points. So the ability to earn as much as 8.5. In addition to that, the commission structure has a trail option available as well, which we're starting to see more and more people go to, giving you the ability to build up some revenue for your businesses. So 2.25 in year one with a 1% trail for the life of the contract. The producer bonus does apply to that as well. So really, the ability at $5 million in production earn as much as $375 with a 1% trail for the life of the contract. So always important to point that out. With that being said, Scott, I'm going to turn it over to you and see if we have any questions.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jared. I'm going to take control back. So you all should see my screen now. As I don't have many questions that have come in, there are a couple things that I want to mention as I launch our last polling question of the day. So please don't hesitate to type in any questions. It's a great opportunity with Jared here, one of the product developers, one of the guys that was in on the ground floor with AIG and Market Synergy Group to bring this product to market. If you have questions on it, please type them in. He will answer them in a very, very detailed fashion. So take advantage of this time. I will launch the polling question here. Final polling question before I get into a couple of comments. All we're going to ask here is if you'd like contracting information from AIG for this product line. If you click yes, we'll get it emailed out to you here today or tomorrow, and get it into your hands so you can review it. So please do participate in that polling question, and also please type in any questions that you have as we go forward here. A couple things that I do want to mention that Jared spoke on that, I like to be a little more aggressive with, and simply I like to be a little more aggressive with because I work with so many different products out there. He mentioned the surrender schedules, 10987. What that means to me, if you are in one of the harder states to get product into, if you're in Ohio, if you're in Texas, if you're in Washington, if you're in Oregon, this product has availability there where others may not, and this product will be even more competitive due to lack of competition there. So please, if you're in one of those states, you absolutely need to click yes on that polling question and see this product. Get it into your offering portfolio. It will do some great things for you. Also, Jared did go through the multiplier. The increasing income or participating income is how we hear that referred to quite a bit. And participating income can be very confusing for some carriers. What AIG and MSG have done is bring the most simple, most transparent multiplier or participating income option. If you have clients that do want to be a little more aggressive with their income, think that they can, increase that income over time. This is definitely the product you want to look at. It's going to give your clients the best ability to see that growing and increasing income. So please, if that's of interest to you, click yes, absolutely take advantage of it. And then I can't drive home more than what Jared did, the ability to have the best trails in the industry. If you're looking at that accumulation product, specifically the builder product, I don't see any other option than the trail. I know it's a little bit of a hit up front, but with that 1% trail of the accumulated value, you will make more money in the long term, and that does give value to your business. That turns your business from a transactional revenue into a residual revenue, and that gives your business saleability, basically. If you ever wanted to sell your book of business down the road, if you have trails, that is going to make it so much more valuable. So please, if trail commissions are of interest to you, click yes on that, and we'll get you out this information to show you exactly how it would work and how it can give your business a higher value. Jared, most questions that have come in, I think that we have covered as they came in, so the timing was really good. I did have a couple questions and come in, and I don't know if you can comment on this or not, but just a couple of questions came in about the DOL. Any comments you'd like to make on that?
It's to me, it's just still too early to know what's going to happen or what's going on. What I will comment is there's lots of organizations out there fighting for our industry because we feel it's a great industry that provides a service to Middle America and will continue to do so. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to keep fighting, but nobody really has any answers, unfortunately, at this point. So.
That's a very true statement there. What I can tell you just from our end of the table here as an IMO, as an FMO, I don't think there's an organization or organizations that are fighting harder for you, the producer, than Insurance Agency Marketing Services and the Market Synergy Group partners. I can't say a whole lot other than that, but please know that we are fighting hard for you, fighting hard for your businesses, and we certainly will do everything we can to ensure that our industry continues to help Middle America as we move forward. With that being said, that really brings us to the end of our presentation today. If you haven't clicked yes or no on the final polling question, if you would please do so. We certainly do appreciate your participation there. I do want to thank all of you very, very much for your time. I know 50 minutes out of a day is a lot to give away, so we do want you to know we appreciate that. Jared, we really do appreciate you taking the time for us today. Any parting comments for the group?
I just, again, I would reiterate that we feel as if we've got extremely competitive products with an A+ rated carrier. So if nothing else, give us an opportunity to look and see if there's a place in which we fit into your business. And I'll echo what Scott said. Thank you for your time. I understand it's difficult to get an hour away during the week, so we truly do appreciate it.
With that being said, again, thank you, Jared. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Go out, have a great sales day, and I look forward to speaking with you very, very soon.